When it comes to American muscle, few brands do this better than Dodge. Between the iconic two-door Challenger and of course the four-door Charger, the company has been stuffing over 700 horsepower in these two beasts for the last 5 years. However, what if you want over 700 horsepower, but you need more than 5 seats? Well, that brings me to Charlotte, North Carolina, because I'm testing out this bad boy right here. This is the 2021 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. The company has finally transported the 6.2-liter supercharged monster, and this bad boy is making 710 horsepower going to all 4 wheels, which means it'll do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. So the big question I want to answer to you guys, have always dreamed of having a 3-row family crossover with over 700 horsepower. Has Dodge managed to build the ultimate family hauler? That's what we're here to find out. So I'm here at Trust Fields, which is the home for the Charlotte Knights, because it is pretty heavily raining outside, but thankfully we're under this covered portion here at the stadium where I can show you guys this all-new Durango SRT Hellcat. Now obviously with a Hellcat, I want to first start off with the motor, because as you can see, this is the same 6.2-liter supercharged monster with an 11.6 PSI of boost pressure going into that big V8, making 710 horsepower, which is actually 3 more than what you get in the Jeep Trackhawk, and 645 pound-feet of torque. It all goes out through, of course, an 8-speed TorqueFlite torque converter automatic. It's the one that's built by ZF. And Dodge says this performance of this engine will get you 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. You'll do an 11.5 second quarter mile, and this bad boy will reach a top speed of 180 miles an hour. So this is, again, the most batshit crazy 3-row family crossover that you can buy. Fuel economy wasn't announced yet as of this filming, but if you guys remember the Jeep Trackhawk, which shares the engine and platform of this vehicle, that's rated to get 11 in the city, 17 on the highway, so I would expect this one to get roughly the same. Now, the cool thing about the Durango SRT Hellcat is you can still tow with this vehicle. It'll tow a maximum of 8,700 pounds, and because this car is significantly bigger than the Jeep, it weighs in at around 5,700 pounds, so it's around 400 pounds heavier versus the Trackhawk. Now, looking at the styling of the Durango, Dodge actually gave it a pretty significant refresh for 2021. It's actually the second refresh because, as you guys know, this generation Durango came out back in 2011, the same time as the Dodge Charger, which came out around the same time period. Now, looking at the front fascia, I really like the changes that Dodge has made because they finally have added full LED headlights to the Durango. The previous generation has had a bi-xenon option. They've actually made the headlights about 1 inch slimmer, which kind of mimics the look that you get on the Charger. You have these LED daytime running lights at the top and the bottom, and then you can see LED low and high beams. Down here, there's no fog lights on this refreshed front fascia, but I do like the way the grille looks. Obviously, with this big engine, we've got a lot of functional air inlets here. You've got the radar sensor for the adaptive cruise control, and this hood scoop, again, is functional because you need to feed air into this massive engine. It needs to be able to breathe. Now, looking at the rest of the profile, the Durango is definitely one of the largest 3-row crossovers in the segment. It kind of occupies the middle ground between something like a Chevrolet Tahoe, a Ford Expedition, and maybe a Chevrolet Traverse. At 201 inches long, this is about 12 inches longer versus the Jeep Trackhawk, and that again makes the Durango a much larger vehicle. It's why we were able to accommodate that third row of seats. Now, looking at the wheels, you can see these are the 20-inch machine black painted pockets that you get as standard on the Hellcat model. They're wrapped in 2 95/45 series tires. These are an all-season tire that you get on this particular one here. The brakes are also upgraded. These are a 6-piston Brembo caliper, which has an SRT branded on it. The rotors themselves are about 0.7 inches larger versus what you get on the SRT 392, which is the non-supercharged version, which I drove about 2 years ago. Now, this particular one here is painted in bullet silver. It's got a new demonic red interior color combination, and it's also missing a sunroof. There's no roof rails that you see on this particular one here. And as you can see from the rest of the profile, this is one long vehicle. This is a couple inches longer than most of its competitors, although again, the Durango's always occupied this interesting middle ground between a car-based crossover, because it is a car base, but it also kind of almost touches some of the full-size truck-like crossovers. Now, at the rear, this is probably where I think the Durango could have used more of an upgrade to the design. From this angle, there's very little to show you that this is the SRT version, aside from this badge right here with the Hellcat logo. The taillights, you can see these taillights have like an LED combination design with the full-length wraparound, although the turn signals appear to be an incandescent. Down here, you can see the exhaust system. Dodge went ahead and put a unique exhaust on this car, which they say they actually deleted the rear resonators. It's gonna have that typical V8 sound, so when they fire it up, you can hear what it sounds like. A Hellcat motor in the Durango, you better believe this thing sounds good. Let's go ahead and fire it up. smells like American muscle. And I bet you didn't think a 3-row crossover could sound like that, so leave it to Dodge to do something absolutely nutty like that. Now looking at the cargo area, this is still an SUV. You can see a power liftgate is included. And with the standard third row, with it up, you get around 17.2 cubic feet of space, which isn't too much. Again, most of you will probably have this third row seat folded, which it has a manual folding feature for the third row. When you fold down the third row, you get around 43 cubic feet of space, which is pretty good. And if you fold down everything, Dodge says you get around 85 cubic feet of space, which is about 16 more cubic feet than what you're gonna get in the Jeep Trackhawk. So obviously this is gonna give you more practicality versus its Jeep cousin. Now the exterior of the Durango SRT Hellcat wasn't really much in terms of changes, especially when you look at the rear of the vehicle. However, the interior is where Dodge made some pretty significant updates, which the Durango definitely needed. Now looking at this cabin at a glance, you can see the entire center stack here has been completely redesigned. I really like the demonic red leather interior that my tester has with the bullet silver exterior color. It really makes the Durango feel a lot more upscale and premium. In this car, the steering wheel you can see is unique to the SRT Hellcat model. This little SRT badge here actually lights up at night red. The regular SRT 392 lights up a white color while the Hellcat model lights up red. Now when I shut the door has a relatively solid sounding thunk. Remember, this platform traces its roots back to a Mercedes platform. It's definitely in dire need of a replacement. Now, here's the key fob for the vehicle. You can see this is the red key that you get with all the Hellcat models. The key fob itself is pretty old. Dodge definitely could use a newer key. They have some newer keys in some of the Jeep products, but there's a nice little place here where you can put the key, which is great, especially when you guys are driving this thing out on a track. The button to fire at the engine is over here. And right when you start this thing up, you can hear how special sounding it does sound. There's an SRT button that's down here. When you do that and you put into sport mode here, that does, again, change all of the settings. You can also make the exhaust a little bit louder. The exhaust itself on this car, definitely a wonderful sounding car. So I'm gonna be looking forward to getting this thing out on my driving portion to show you guys how it drives. Now, in terms of the rest of this cabin, I want you to see that's what the steering wheel looks like with the SRT badge lit up. It's lit up red, which is really cool. The non-Hellcat version will light up white, which is also great. In terms of the rest of this interior, you can see you've got real genuine stitching here on the dash. This stitching actually continues onto the lower part of the dash, which is great. The big story, of course, with this interior is the Uconnect 5 head unit and this 10.1-inch display, which I'll come back to in just a moment. The door panels, you can see you've got 2-person memory. You've got a soft touch injection molded plastic here. You've got some carbon fiber look trim. You have some real stitching over here where it's padded. The window controls, you can see the driver and front passenger window are automatic up down. The rear is not one touch. My tester has the optional premium Harman Kardon stereo, which does sound pretty good. And then over here you've got your headlight controls. The steering wheel itself is a power tilt and telescoping design, which is nice. I like how it's a flat bottom. All the SRTs give you the flat bottom in addition to the GT and the RT models. You have these paddle shifters, you have buttons on the back of the wheel to adjust your audio settings, and then my tester here has the adaptive cruise control option, which is like another $2,500. Now looking at the rest of this interior, I want to show you guys the Uconnect 5 in just a moment, but this is what all the lighting turned on. You can see it's a little bit dark here. There is some interior lighting that's in the actual door handles, and the lighting here lights up like an ice blue. There's a wireless phone charger down here, which you can see I've placed my phone in there. There's a little bit more storage. This controls the 8-speed automatic. When you put the vehicle into reverse, you can see there's your backup camera with a pretty good amount of, or pretty good resolution. No 360 camera, although I'm surprised that it doesn't offer that. It has front and rear parking sensors. A vehicle like this should offer something like that, but I like how it's taking up the entire screen. That's something that FCA definitely addressed that they needed to. Now looking at this Uconnect 5 head unit, this is one of the first vehicles to get it. The 2021 Chrysler Pacifica is the other vehicle. You can see it also includes wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and Amazon Alexa. It also has over-the-air updates, so OTA. So the Chrysler or Dodge or Jeep can just send you new updates to the vehicle wirelessly whenever there's a new update available. The screen itself looks great. I like the widescreen look of the Apple CarPlay. You can see I've got Apple CarPlay, or this is iOS 14. Going back there, going back to the Uconnect, you can see here's the GPS function for this car, which Chrysler FCA, they pair with TomTom for the GPS. It's a very nice, snappy resolution. It's very responsive and quick. You can see it's been hugely upgraded. Uconnect's always been one of the best in the business, and they've been putting Uconnect in their cars for the last 15 years. here. So this is now in its 5th generation. I like how it's very tablet-like. You can kind of go around and you can see there's all these different icons. You can customize the way the icons look. You can go into vehicle settings over here. You can change your SRT modes. You can do your performance pages, drive modes. You can see it's all very impressive looking. Going over here to the media, you can see there's your different media sources. Comfort will bring up your climate control, which the graphics have really been greatly improved. Going over here to apps, you can see there's your performance pages, device manager. You can customize all these different apps and whatnot, which is great. That's what the home page looks like. Again, you can customize that. You can change the way some of this looks. It swipes and zooms very quickly, very easily, and I really like the way the system really looks. You can see there's your climate control function where you've got the heated and cooled seats, which is nice. It's just accessed by pushing that little button over there. Heated steering wheel, again, is included on this particular model. So this is all very impressive, and I'm looking forward to seeing Dodge, Jeep, and of course Chrysler implement their Uconnect 5 system to the rest of their lineup. It's just a huge upgrade versus Uconnect 4. Now, the rest of this cabin, you can see if you don't want to deal with the touchscreen, Dodge also offers these hard buttons down here, which is nice. You've got a tuning knob, volume knob, climate control system over here. Your launch control button is over here if you guys want to activate the launch control in this car. I also like some of the carbon fiber trim. You've got these big cup holders here. There's a nice little padded armrest here. And then this is not very large in terms of the storage because my tester has the rear seat entertainment package. You can see the DVD player goes over there, which who in their right mind uses DVDs anymore anyways. And then you can see the seats. They are specific to the SRT model. They're a little bit more aggressively bolstered. They are a very big seat. They're still very wide. Wider frames can still fit in this, even though these are more tighter. And then over here you can see the glove compartment. It's damped and lined with felt, but it is a little bit on the small side. So overall, the cabin has been greatly improved. The materials have gotten better. I like the new Uconnect 5 system, and it also feels incredibly roomy, which is, I think, a huge important factor for buyers in this segment. So because you need more than 5 seats, let's take a look at the back seat of the SRT Hellcat Durango. Now, like the other Durangos, Dodge offers a choice between 7 or 6 passenger seating. I believe the SRT Hellcat only comes with the 6 passenger configuration, which means you get these nice captain's chairs. Now, in terms of the space back here, there's around 38 inches of legroom, which at 5'7", I can get pretty comfortable back here. I also love this center console that it comes with, where you have these cup holders, you have this nice storage. The seats themselves, they do allow you to recline them a little bit. Unfortunately, you can't slide them forward and back to give you more legroom. It does feel a little bit tight back here, surprisingly. I wish I could move the seat further back to give myself a little bit more space. In terms of features, my tester has a $2,000 rear seat entertainment package, which the screens themselves, they're not widescreen. The graphics look a little bit crunchy. Not as good as the Uconnect 5 graphics that are at the front. You also have an HDMI port here, and then you have video jacks, of course, for each one. You can also have wireless headphones as a remote. There's rear seat air vents back here. You have 2 level heated seats. You have 2 USB ports and an actual household power outlet over here, which is definitely nice. Now, in terms of getting back into the 3rd row, Dodge makes it pretty simple. You can kind of pull this lever here, and that will fold that seat down, and then pull on this red strap. You can see it opens that up to let you, it gives you a pretty good amount of space. Now, I'm gonna climb back here and show you guys from this angle. Now, it's kind of good that these seats don't slide back because there's actually enough room in the 3rd row to house adults, at least adults that are shorter like me. Dodge says there's around 33.5 inches of legroom back here, which is actually more than what you find in most of the competition. You can see the floor is pretty low. My knees aren't exactly like in my face, but there's actually a good amount of space back here for me to get comfortable. You have rear seat vents, no soft touch materials back here, but there are 2 cup holders, no USB ports. But overall, if you actually have to use this as a family vehicle to carry more than 5, you can do it in the Hellcat Durango. Now, I've always liked the Hellcat engine, but I've never liked the traction problems that you get with the Charger and Challenger because they're rear drive. When I first drove the Trackhawk, loved it. Now that they put all-wheel drive in the Durango, this all-wheel drive definitely is making me feel a lot more comfortable to drive this car, considering the pouring rain that we're experiencing here in South Carolina. This car has 3 more horsepower versus the Trackhawk, 710, but it does weigh about 400 pounds heavier, so it's not going to be quite as fast, but still 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds sounds about the same as the Trackhawk. Oh yeah, Yeah, that noise is just, oh, it's just classic V8 muscle car noise. You can hear the supercharger whine so well in this car. I love it. I love the sound. Now, that was with the drive mode in its automatic setting, so it was kind of tuned more for the street. It's a little bit more comfort oriented. I'll go into sport. I'm not gonna go into track because that's gonna turn off the stability control. As you can see, it is raining pretty hard out here, and I just don't wanna push my luck with crashing this car. It does have launch control. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to try it because, as you can see, it's supposed to rain all day here in South Carolina. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. This is pretty sweet. This feels faster than the last GLE 63S that I drove, which is technically a class below this car because it's not quite as big. This competes with something like a GLS 63, a BMW XB7 Alpina, which I haven't had a chance to drive that. Although this has, again, about 100 more horsepower than those vehicles. And the sound, you're not gonna have the same kind of supercharger noise that you get in the other vehicles, the German cars, which also are a little bit more refined. I will say that this car does have a nice split personality. I mean, in sport mode here, the ride quality is still pretty agreeable. Visibility in the Durango is pretty good. I mean, it's a long car, but my tester here has the blind spot monitor. It has forward collision alert, automatic braking. It has adaptive cruise control. And in terms of the handling, I mean, she's got a really nice steering wheel, and the steering itself is light. It's pretty quick responding, actually, considering the size of this car. But you're not going to really be pushing this thing out on a track. I think the Trackhawk is going to be a little bit better handling, but if you really want an FCA SUV that handles extremely well, buy the Stelvio. The Stelvio QV is the one that handles just like a sports sedan. This is, again, more of a straight line car, although SRT will be quick to point out they've also tuned this car to be able to handle track stuff. It's got the upgraded brakes, it's got the upgraded suspension, the upgraded steering. The paddles are metal, which I do wish they were connected to the actual column instead of the wheel. If you start pulling on the paddle, you can see it does respond pretty well. Ooh, listen to that. I pulled the paddle a second too late there, and it started bogging the engine, so you do need to pull it a little bit before you get to the red line, otherwise you're going to experience that little bog part. But we are actually heading out to Carolina Motorsports Park, and hopefully the rain gives out so we can actually do a little track driving in this car, and I can try a launch control in it. But just driving it on the road, it feels like any other Durango aside from the supercharger whine and the insane acceleration. The seats are also really comfortable and supportive. Even though these are a little bit more aggressively bolstered, this car easily will accommodate wider American frames to sit in this thing for long trips. And fuel economy, just in case you're wondering, the trip computer has been saying I've been averaging 12.2 mpg, and that's me driving it really economically because we've just been stuck in the traffic and in the rain. So a full tank of gas, it was saying 270 miles. That's awful, considering this is a 25-gallon gas tank. So yeah, you might be complaining a little bit at the gas pump, but hey, if you're trying to buy a Hellcat branded Dodge or FCA product, you just have to pay to play, and that's kind of, it comes with the territory. That is a big truck coming.
Yeah, sitting on the road trying to fiddle with launch control right now is probably...
Yeah, I mean, like, you could... vehicle must be on level ground. Look at that, it knows.
I mean, that's smart.
Launch control canceled. Yeah, I'm not going to do launch control. It's just... It's fucking wet. I don't know. Like, I could try it. I don't know. Let's see if I want... I could try it. I'll try it, but it's going to be like, oh...
I would let off pretty quickly, though.
Yeah.
You don't need to go over, 20 or 30 or 40.
Right. Okay. Actually, no, there's another car. There's another fucking car.
Yeah, it's driving the rain with no headlights on. That's what is smart.
All right. All right, so we tried the launch control in this rain, and as you felt, it struggles a little bit. You can feel all four wheels digging into the pavement trying to get some traction, but try doing that in the Charger or Challenger Hellcat and you'll be on the side of the road with the car flipped over dead. So hey, I'm happy that Dodge has put all-wheel drive in this car, and they really need to put all-wheel drive in the Charger and Challenger because it makes the power usable, even in these crappy weather conditions that we're experiencing. So Dodge says 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. I believe them. Right now, that was probably more like 4.5 seconds because it's struggling for grip, and I'm a little nervous to not put this thing out, in a wall or something, but the ultimate, acceleration for family cars. I mean, sure, you can compare this to like a Tesla Model X or Model Y, and they may accelerate quicker, but they won't have quite the drama that you get with that supercharged V8.
You can't add a lot of power at once, but stay on the outside for me. Once you get to the edge here, start coming back and giving it gas. Point it all the way down. Go, go, go. And again, no late braking. Come on out there. Make it a wide turn. This is a late, late turn. And be patient with the throttle and go, 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 go. Give it the juice. Excellent. All the way out there, looking ahead. Smooth it on out. There you go. Give me that lazy S through here. Point at that last one. Little tap of the brakes. Looking good. You're good. Go, go, go. Nice. Get all the way here. There you go. You're good. It's uphill here. It's hard to see, but it helps you slow down.
Yep.
Look ahead as far as you can. Come on, you got it, you got it. Get all the way there before you turn. Excellent, nice. Much easier if you wait till that end to turn.
Yep.
You don't run out of room. That's enough. You're good. Touch it. Touch it. Aim for the end. Brake hard. There you go. Start easing off. Toss it on in there. You're good.
Very impressive brakes.
Come on out.
How big this thing is.
There you go. We like them. I'm sure that little bit of mist helps keep us nice and cool, too.
Wow. She stays really flat, too, through these corners. It's amazing.
We got that one right here. Give it the gas. Go, go, go. And brake hard. There you go. Get all the way out there. Start looking around the corner for me. This is your last hot, hot run.
Okay.
Give it the gas. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Excellent. Great. There you go. Good job. If that was your first time out, we're going to have a great day. And from this point, like I said, just try not to touch that brake pedal. Use your paddles to slow down for me.
Okay. So just like its platform mate, the Jeep Trackhawk, the Durango SRT Hellcat takes everything we like about the Hellcat motor and pairs it with the all-wheel drive grip that I think Dodge needs to go ahead and put on the Challenger and Charger. The Torque Flight 8-speed automatic is one of the quickest shifting torque converter automatics you can buy. And the practicality aspect of the Durango is really why you're gonna want one of these, because as you guys saw, the second and the third row seat are incredibly roomy. You can actually carry adults in all three rows. And the ride quality is still very comfortable. When you put this thing into its track mode, it completely changes its personality. A lot of the Hellcat models have a very Jekyll and Hyde personality trait, and that's what makes these things super unique. And really, I'm super happy to see that Dodge decided to go batshit crazy with the Durango and give us a full-on Hellcat model. The sad thing is, however, you can only buy the Hellcat Durango for 1 year. It'll only be available for the 2021 model year. And they're heading to dealerships right now as we speak at a starting price of $80,995 plus a $1,500 destination charge. That makes the Hellcat Durango one of the biggest bargains in the Hellcat lineup, because this car here is $7,000 less expensive versus the Jeep Trackhawk, which I'm not entirely sure why, but it makes it a huge bargain. Now, my particular tester here has a couple of options from the Demonic Red to the Advanced Technology package to that rear seat entertainment package. This one here with destination stickers for $93,150, nearly $100,000 for something like this, but keep in mind, you can easily price up a Jeep Trackhawk to be well over $100,000. And if you guys actually need to carry, space for your family and all their stuff and tow up to 8,700 pounds, this is really one of the few vehicles in the class, because sure, you can compare it to something like an AMG GLS 63 or an X5M competition, although those models only have 603 horsepower, while this, again, has 710 horsepower. With all that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed my full overview on the 2021 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at redline_reviews. Like us on Facebook, and as always, guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.